The more committed that you are, the faster it will manifest. The thing is that a lot of us don't know how to commit and you don't know how to feel like it's already done. So, in this video, I'm going to take you from it doesn't matter where you are in the spectrum, but even if you feel like it's not done, even if you feel terrible, even if you can't feel it real or you feel like you can't move your vibration, even if you've been working on this for months and you feel like it's not going to work, there's two phases of manifesting. Okay. So I'm going to explain that and I'm going to take you from one phase to the next phase where you can actually experience the magic of manifesting and feel it real. Hey guys, I'm Jasmine with Manifest Fast with Jasmine, but you can call me Dr. Cupcake because my PhD, they don't teach in school. And on that note, make sure that you get a pencil and paper out or a pen and paper out. Take notes because this is going to be a super, super helpful video for helping you quantum leap and timeline shift and create instant manifestation results in your reality. Okay. If you take this seriously. So, yes, the more committed that you are, the faster it will manifest. And I have some of my own notes here for you guys. So, basically, like I said, there's two phases to manifesting. The first phase is where this is where you're not in control of your thoughts. Your thoughts are thinking you, you're experiencing monkey brain. I call this phase one, and it's a phase that's characterized by instability. So, when you are in this phase, the idea or the goal is not to jump right to trying to manifest because you'll notice that you can't do that. You'll notice this is what keeps you on the hamster wheel. This is when you're going to be the person who says, I've been trying for 6 months and I've done all the things and I've done all the practices and I've spent money and I've had coaching and I haven't gotten anywhere, right? It still didn't happen. If you are trying to manifest from phase one, and if that is your goal, you're not going to accomplish your goal. When you are in phase one, which is instability, this means that you are stuck in the physical world. So the belief systems that you have got you, well, the belief systems that you have are basically that you believe more in 3D reality. You believe more in the power of what is outside of you than the power of what is inside of you. And so, as long as you are in phase one, there are certain things that we need to do, that you need to do in order to stabilize your vibration, transcend limitation, stop reacting negatively to the outside, and take your power back. Okay, so there is an element also of changing your identity that goes along with any vibrational shift that you're going to make. Okay, so when you're in phase one, what is really, really like the only thing that you can do is you need to figure out how to gain stability, not how to manifest, because you can't. That the point is, you can't do that on purpose because you can't control your mind, you can't control your thoughts, you can't control your feelings. So you can't jump straight to trying to manifest. Every time that you do, you're going to find yourself in a spiral that is making you feel more frustrated, not less frustrated. Every time that something doesn't happen that you want, you're going to be reactive and you're going to be in this cycle. Okay, so I'm not saying that you can't be and do and have and manifest anything that you want and that it doesn't have to take any time. What I am saying is that if you are finding yourself stuck in time and stuck in the illusion of limitation, there are still specific steps and things that you can do to get yourself out of that state. And then once you get out of that state, you will find the ability to manifest much, much easier. So let me see what else I've got here for this. Now, I'm going to start a little bit with identity here because identity is so important. You have to work on your identity every single day. So, are you primarily identified with being a human in a body or an ego in a bodysuit with thoughts and emotions and personality traits and characteristics and obligations and responsibilities and jobs and just stuck with conditions that you don't want or like, right? Are you identified as a human body, a human ego in a bodysuit with limitations? Or are you identified as a living God in form? Are you practicing reminding yourself that you are more than this body, you are more than this mind, you are more than your experiences, you are more than your emotions. Because if you're not reminding yourself of who and what you truly are and reconnecting with that every single day, more than once a day, then you're going to find yourself back in limited humandom and feeling limited by time and space. You're going to find yourself trapped back inside the illusion. Okay. So it doesn't really matter to what degree that you find yourself stuck in time and space. We're all kind of in, for the most part, we're all kind of in time and space to a degree. So I'm going to take you through some things that you can do to actually use time and space to your advantage to climb the vibrational scale. Because here's the thing, you cannot get around the fact that when are, you can't get around the fact that energy is manifestational currency. And essentially, when you raise your energy, there's something about you raising your frequency, you raising your energy, or aligning, or whatever you want to call it. There's something associated with um, feeling more positively, feeling more love, feeling more gratitude, feeling more confident, that is commensurate with having the wherewithal to know something into being and to manifest magic and miracles in your life. These two things just go together. And there's a lot of things that we can manifest and we just like know it into being, or just we think it, we know it's going to just happens, and it doesn't seem like a big emotional like task, or like a lot of emotional energy was exchanged there, but it's going to feel normal to you when you're in a certain place, right? So you can manifest certain things from where you are. I'm talking about like you being able to manifest something that you can't currently manifest. It's going to require a shift in your energy. You're going to have to become less convinced by the illusion. You're going to have to become detached from your physical body identification with your ego, with your emotions, with your thoughts, with yourself as a human, as a very limited perspective of yourself, and also of the physical world around you, the 3D time and space limitations. Okay, so you want to detach from that. And the way that we do this is presence, meditation, and mindfulness practices, where you have to learn what is the difference between the ego mind thinking and you. You are the eternal watcher behind the avatar ego that is parading around as you. By the way, what are you? Yes, you're the watcher, you're the eternal God in form, eternal observer. And I want to say this a different way, because when I want to set myself straight and remind myself who and what my identity really is, here's something that I say to myself that helps. There is no I. There is no I. I do not exist, because I implies that I am separate from all that is. And there is no separation. So there is no I. There is only one. The all and the one and the all. There's only one. And to me, one, it's like a circle, all the things. So I recognize myself as one with all that is. So there is no I, there is only one. This reminds me to get back into that state of disidentification with separateness, disidentification with ego and with time and with space. This reminds me to detach. Detachment is also, again, you recognizing that you are not your thoughts, not your emotions, not your experiences, not your stories, not your reactions, but the one who is aware of all of those things. And you will recognize that there is a difference between your ego avatar parading around as you that is acting things out, saying things, versus the watcher who's like, oh my God, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Oh my God, I see what's happening. I'm watching the chaos. Yes. Oh my God. How do we stop? Oh boy, she's still talking. Have you ever done that before? Yeah. So that's just an illustration of like the eternal watcher, observer, you watching the ego parading around as you, and that there's a difference. And so if there's a difference between those two things, then you can stop identifying as the ego avatar who is not you, who is messing everything up, and you can start to reclaim your power as your true self, which is not the human, not the human body, not your thoughts, not your emotions, but the eternal, infinite energy of all that is in form. You are the universe in a vessel, in a form. And you can honor yourself and recognize yourself as such by reminding yourself that that is who and what you are, which means getting present, which means getting mindful, which means meditation practices. And this is not only segments of your day, and then you go out into your day and you fumble and like you don't take any of that with you. No. So, this is why it's not just meditation, which meditation, you can have meditation throughout your day or like moving meditation, right? But it's reminding yourself to be aware. It's reminding yourself to be present and what that is. So these practices, it never ever goes away. The fact that this is what distinguishes your knowledge of your power to manifest versus you being so unconscious that you fumble around and you can't figure out what to do, no matter how many books you read, no matter how many videos you watch. And there is a big difference. If you want to be able to manifest, you do have to raise your energy, because if you don't, you can hear all of the instructions and it won't land and it won't be realized by you in an applicable way. You can hear everything that you need to hear and you won't be able to do it. That means that you're not practicing mindfulness enough. That means that you're not having like it means you're still identified with a limited human presentation. Okay. It means you're still identified with a 3D reality. So, when you are in phase one, where you're unstable and you can't control your vibration and you're having crappy thoughts, your number one priority is detach and get yourself present and learn how to get behind those thoughts and watch them, so that instead of your mind running you, you can start running it. This is a practice. It's a practice that never ends. You can make an improvement within 1 day, within 3 days, within 2 weeks. You can use my practices that I teach on manifesting a state to manifest a version of yourself who does this easier and better and faster. That's something that I teach in Super Life as well. So in Super Life, 50% of what we do there is mindfulness practices to keep everybody in a place where you can actually apply what is being taught. And I do these practices with you guys where I'm teaching you how to occupy a state of being that is of being a God in form, knowing how to manifest, and as opposed to like being unconscious and human and unstable. So, what else have I got here? Okay. So, here are some other things that you can do if you are stuck in time and space and you want to use the fact that you're stuck in time and space, which means you believe in time and space. If you want to use that to your advantage, you can. If you are unstable, you believe in the outside reality. You believe in the solidly real world. So you're going to use this to your advantage. This is where you start proving to yourself that you love yourself. Now, hold on. What is love? What is self love, first of all? I will tell you one thing. I will tell you that whatever it is that we are calling God or all that is, it is equal to love. And whatever that vibrational currency is that I spoke about earlier is the same as love. Okay. So when you love yourself, you're essentially filling yourself up with more of this vibrational currency that allows you to manifest. So, love basically, self love is you are allowing yourself to focus on what feels good to you and fill yourself up with good vibrations. That's vibrational currency. Okay. Very simple. So, if you're stuck in time and space, you're going to love yourself and fill yourself up with vibrational currency that allows you to manifest by way of physical means. You're going to do things for yourself physically that you know are good for you. Whatever you believe is healthy and good for you, that's what you're going to do for yourself. You're going to make adjustments to what you're eating, change your habits and change your routines, because the identity version of yourself whose life is sucking, who feels bad, who you don't want this life, that person is not you. And the person that you want to be is obviously behaving completely differently, obviously feeling and thinking completely differently. And obviously they have a way better that girl routine. So you're going to change your routines because you're a different person now. And so, who is that person who manifests what you want like magic and who has what you want? Who is that person who feels good and is living the way that you want to live? You're going to start emulating that person verbatim. You're going to start moving your body, exercising, going to the places that you want to go, doing the things that you want to do, taking up those hobbies that you've been thinking about in the back of your mind. You have every excuse not to do it. Oh, and by the way, this is hard when you are stuck in the limited mindset of believing in the illusion, circumstantial illusion. And I'll tell you what I mean by this. What I mean by this is that you are going to argue for your limitation. You are going to give yourself every excuse why you shouldn't do everything that I just said. But if you want to be different, if you want to identify, if you want a new identity who can manifest what you want easily and effortlessly, if you want to shift into a different reality where things happen easy and fast, and everywhere you go, it's another thing that you want, and people treat you nice, and love is easy to come by, and money and abundance just is easy to come by, and all of your interactions are harmonious, and your life just flows like a dream, and there's just a different air. There's a different atmosphere where you live, where you are, how you live, and your dimension of reality. Well, then you're going to have to change, and you're going to have to do it physically. Now, when you physically begin to do the things that you believe are good for you, and you do them not because you hate yourself and you need a change and you need a kick in the butt, it's not because you're in boot camp. You do it because you love yourself, because you're worth it, because you would do anything for yourself, because you're fucking awesome, because you're treating yourself and loving yourself the way that you want your person to love and treat you, because you're putting into you in the same way that you want other people to put into you. You're looking at yourself with the reverence and the respect and with the awe inspired, magnificent. You're looking at yourself through these eyes that you want other people to look at you through. You want other people to see this in you. You got to see this in you. You got to respect your body. You got to respect yourself. What can I do for myself? Care about how you feel. Care about how you look. Not because, oh, I can't leave the house without makeup, because no, it's because I care enough to care about this for myself. Give yourself permission to care about yourself. Give yourself not just permission to care about yourself. Make it normal. Normalize it. And if that feels like you're resisting it, good. That's the old you that's resisting it. You need to do something different. And that something different needs to be something that you allow yourself to feel good about. No resistance. So pick your poison. There's an infinite number of ways that you can apply this. but you're going to start getting healthier mentally, physically, emotionally. You're going to care. That love that you want from the world, that love that you want from your person, you're going to do it to you. And you're going to start noticing the negativity that the ego is spouting. When the ego is resisting something, these thoughts are not yours. When the ego is talking bad about something, when the ego has something negative to say, you're going to notice those thoughts, those stories, those projections, and you're going to disidentify with them because you know that they are not you. You're going to start dropping and debunking all of your thoughts. I don't have to think about that right now. I want you to start disidentifying with all of the thoughts of the ego. Now, I'm going to move on. You probably are going to need more training on this if you're actually going to do it because there's a lot of nuances here. But I think that we all are familiar with mindfulness practices and the need to be separate from the ego or transcend the ego in order to transcend time and space. Transcending the ego in your mind, in your consciousness, is equal to transcending time and space. Because if you want to quantum leap and manifest like magic instantly, that is something that happens in your conscious mind. So if your conscious mind is functioning from an illusion, functioning from an ego avatar fake character that is compatible with time and space only, that is compatible a result of illusion only, then you, the eternal observer, you, one with all that is, you, the one who has infinite amounts of creative, deliberate currency to work with, you're not doing the creating. The ego is running the show. So you're going to stop taking a back seat to that. And the more committed that you are, the faster that you're going to be an instant manifester. The more committed that you are to doing this, to accomplishing this now, not tomorrow, not in 5 minutes, not sit here and figure it out for 5 more hours. No, you apply this now. That's a trap that the ego keeps you in. Is, oh, I got to figure it out. Oh, I got to figure it out. Oh, I don't know how to do this. I got to figure it out. I got to figure it out. I got to figure it out. No. No, that's a trap. Take yourself from not doing it to actual application. Okay? All right. So, I'm going to read this to you. This is about quantum leaping. Whatever it is that you are identifying with is not you. So when you raise your awareness and you're able to see the thoughts of the ego, the emotions of the ego, the stories of the ego, if you're able to see them, then you can see it's over there. It's not you. You're the one watching. So if it's over there and it's not you, that means it's also not true, unless if you want it to be. That's creative control. You can quantum leap instantly and manifest miracles like magic easily when you know this. Knowing it is just a practice. This is why 50% of what we do in super life is revolving around you being able to do this. So, whatever it is that you're identifying with is not you and is also not true. That includes your negative thoughts, feelings, and stories. So basically, everything that you're thinking is either a thought or a feeling or a story. A perspective is a story. Everything is just a story. And when you're unconscious, you automatically think that your stories are true instead of having the awareness to choose if you want it to be true or not. That is the difference between manifesting like magic instantly and going in circles wondering why it doesn't work no matter how much scripting that you do. You can do all the exercises in the world. You can get all the coaching in the world. You can watch all the videos in the world. But If you can't control your thoughts and because you don't know the difference between you and your ego stories, you won't be able to create. And it's not that manifesting doesn't work. It's that you didn't learn how to do this. You didn't learn how to create properly in your consciousness. Your consciousness is where you can go to any dimension of reality. Every possible reality exists now. So the reality where you are happy, vital, energized, sexy, courageous, charismatic, bubbly, and with your person happily, married, whatever that means to you, you guys are having a lovely relationship right now, juicy. That exists somewhere right now in another reality, in a dimension now that you can access now. Your ability to access it now depends on your ability to access it in your consciousness. If you cannot quell your consciousness, if you cannot stop thought, if you cannot be a clean slate and truly occupy some other world in consciousness, you cannot go to some other world in your consciousness. When you have the awareness to recognize the ego avatar as not you, not your voice, and not your thought, then you also have the awareness to reject the fearful and limiting stories as not yours or not relevant to you. Unconsciousness is what keeps you stuck in stories that are below you. All right, so are we understanding what consciousness is and what unconsciousness is? Okay. So, there is no I, there is only one. Remember, that takes you out of the identification with the small human ego avatar self. I'm not the ego avatar. I am not dependent upon anything else, anything that is here. I am eternal. And I have the ability to think and be and do whatever I want, have the ability to create whatever I want in consciousness, go wherever I want in consciousness, fully occupy wherever I want in consciousness. I don't have to give a fuck about what any illusory thing outside of myself cares about it. I have the ability to create myself, and recreate my reality. So, do you know that? When you are finally able to let go of all thought, that is what is equal to 5D consciousness. So we're talking about going from 3D to 5D consciousness. So when you are able to detach from your mind and detach from your belief and circumstances and your awareness, your identification of who you are and where you are, this sense of detachment is 5D consciousness that allows you a space to be creative and enter whatever reality or create whatever reality that it is you want to create. You are immortal. And the difference between the I and you knowing that you are the one will impact how fast and how easy it is for you to manifest in your world. All right, so we talked about transcending illusion to manifest your person, how to feel it real. When you are identified with the human ego avatar, you will think that you cannot feel it real or that it is difficult. This is just a symptom. It's just telling you that you're believing more in 3D reality illusion and in the confines and limitations of your body than in your eternal ability to create. So again, you have to remind yourself who you really are and reconfigure yourself an identity who can manifest, because that human ego identity version of yourself that is making you feel confined, like you can't create, that version that cannot manifest. Yeah, it's true. That limited human being avatar does not represent you, does not speak for you, and it does not create for you. It creates by default. It does whatever it may do, but it's not powerful like you. You are the one. You are the operant power. You are the one who infuses your identity and your reality with the power to create what you want using your will. You have to will yourself to change your associations with who you think that you are, to change your identity. There is nothing about you or reality at all that is fixed. So you have to will yourself to wiggle yourself outside of your identity, your current personality, characteristics. I don't care if you feel like you have physical manifestations that are limiting you in some way. I don't care what you think is going on with you. Nothing is fixed. So you need to stop identifying as a victim, stop identifying as being limited, stop identifying with conditions that are what you think is your reason or your excuse why you cannot experience something different. You can experience a different identity tomorrow that is unlimited. You can go from having some kind of ailment today and tomorrow you don't have it anymore. I have experienced this so many times with myself and with other people. I have changed people and changed myself in miraculous ways that are not supposed to be possible. And I'm not saying that if it doesn't happen overnight, that it's a failure. Absolutely not. What I am saying is you are not who you think that you are. And if you want to manifest like a god, which we are all here to do that, you have to get out of your identification of who you think you are and what you think is real. You have to get out of that box because outside of that box of reality is a different reality where you can manifest like magic, but you have to get out of this reality that sucks. And in order to do that, you have to change your identity to become the version of yourself who can do that. Okay? I want you to remember the most miraculous thing that you've ever felt in your life, or the most miraculous thing that you've ever manifested in your life, or the most miraculous thing that you've ever seen or heard anyone else do in your life. And we've all heard these things. We've all heard of cancer disappearing. We've all heard of things that are not explainable, okay? Everyone knows that miracles are real and they do happen and they're well documented. So if it's possible, it's possible. If you see anyone out there doing anything, that means that you can do it too. And when you start reaching outside of that box of who you think that you are and disidentifying with limitation, disidentifying with your human body, disidentifying with the 3D world, because you know that something else, you know that there's more, you know that you are more, and communing with the version of yourself that is infinite and making that communion more important than anything else, you're going to reach the sense of detachment that I'm talking about, the 5D reality, where you just know things into being and they manifest like magic. And it doesn't matter what circumstance was there, it's gone. And you'll just be like, yep, it's going to be gone and it's going to go like this and it will go just like that. Okay. So changing your identity is something that you have to do every single day. And it's something that you have to keep up with. Otherwise, you're going to fall back into a slump and you're going to find yourself re-identified with the human fucking world. And it really sucks. So join me in Super Life. I'm going live tonight and I'm going to talk about literally like the things that I did in my physical world that have nothing to do with mind control that I used to switch my identity and root myself into a new identity in a way that it zoomed me in there and it just kept me there, just rooted me and anchored me into this new identity. And this is things that I did before I even really knew that was how it was going to happen. Okay. So when I discovered that there's literally physical things that you can do to change your identity and root yourself into that new identity and how that all works, that became a fabulous tool because sometimes you just can't control your mind. But you can use reality and your own beliefs and limitations to help you shift into something completely different and move you along faster. And those things can work every time. So that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. Look, when you join Super Life, every single month I come through with a brand new avatar who is a deity, and I teach you guys how to become how to make this avatar your own, because the avatars that I bring forth, they have supernatural abilities. They know how to jump timelines. They know how to quantum leap, and they know that they're the god of their reality. They know how to create, and it's fun, and you can become whoever it is that you want to be. It's kind of like going to a shopping mall and like, oh my God, I want that. I want that. I want that. And I'm going to show you how to make it your own. I tell you the story about them, and whatever excites you, whatever resonates with you, you take it for your own. And then the other half of what we do is the presence practices, the mindfulness practices. And this shit shifts your vibration and makes it so that you can apply the other things that we are doing. Otherwise, if you're not shifting your vibration, you have no power to be able to really implement these things. So we do both. Anyways, those links are going to be in the description below. I'll see you tonight at 6 p.m. Let me know in the comments what you want me to talk about or what you liked about the video. Oh, by the way, if you're still watching, that means you like the video. So make sure to click the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you later.